Welcome back to my channel. I'm James. Today I've got some massive, exciting reviews that were sent to me over 2 weeks early for me to dive into and test for all of you. And I'm thrilled to announce today we're going to be deep diving into The Crow and High Noon and Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, and Ocean's 13. All of these are exciting upcoming 4K Ultra HD releases that were sent to me weeks early for review for me to dive into and test for all of you. I can tell you I did my exclusive testing on these. I did all of my image comparisons to show you up above when we're going through the reviews what these look like in comparison to their previous Blu Ray releases. I can tell you there's a lot of testing data and results I discovered when going through these, and I've got a lot of stuff to share in this video. And as always, just because something's sent for review, it never changes or affects my testing data or my review scores. As most of you know that have followed me for years here on my channel, I'll always be upfront and honest with you with what the quality of these actually are in comparison to the previous Blu-rays and 4Ks that I've tested here on this channel. Now at the end of each of these reviews, I'll always give you my sum up total review score to let you know the quality of these and if they're worth buying or upgrading over the previous Blu-ray releases, and if there's something you should add to your collection. Now, it's always very important if you decide you're gonna buy any of these 4K releases after you get done watching my reviews, always go down to those direct Amazon sale links I've pinned as a pinned comment in the comment section right below this video. Those links down there never cost you, the viewer, a penny extra, but they're extremely important to the creation of all of these exclusive image comparisons that I do here on my channel. I can only do this with all of you, my viewers and subscribers' support, when you click on those links down there. And simply by clicking on those links, it shows your support of these videos. So make sure if you're gonna buy any of these or add any of these to your collection, always go down and use those direct Amazon sale links right down there below. Now to start off here, I'm gonna be showing you the native image pulled from the previous Blu-ray release that was released here in the US of The Crow. I can tell you this film came out in 1994 and its previous home video iterations have always been rough. The previous Blu-ray was no exception. It was very difficult to see in some scenes. It had some black crush. It had very bad colors that were extremely washed out and muted. And overall, the previous Blu-ray transfers, no matter which one you had, just were not amazing and never looked great. Now, for its 30th anniversary, Paramount went back and did a brand new 4K restoration and Dolby Vision and HDR10 master. This is a native 4K 2160p. And I can tell you, as you're noticing right away in those native images pulled from the Blu-ray and from the 4K disc up above, this does have much needed life brought to it due to that great Dolby Vision and HDR10 implementation. I can tell you there was a rough variance of about 5% difference between the Dolby Vision and HDR10 color tone wise. I did enjoy the Dolby Vision just slightly more, but in this case, it was only roughly about a 5% difference. Otherwise, both of them have amazing life due to skin tones and colors that was severely lacking on the previous Blu-ray transfers, where everything was just muted and washed out. This looks drastically better color-wise. Now, there's something very important to understand about The Crow here before we get more into the review of the image. The Crow has always been a gritty and grim, dark hero story. Now, it's never had an absolutely gorgeous or perfect transfer because of the way they intentionally filmed this with camera lenses and filters that give it a very gritty and grim look to it overall. So no matter how many times they restore the film, that original gritty and just basically the film grain being just very gritty and inconsistent is always going to appear in this. So as far as film grain wise, I am happy to report they did not DNR it away. The film grain is present nicely on this release. Though keep in mind, it does retain the gritty and grim look to it. The film grain is not consistent. It does have quite a few fluctuations and inconsistencies throughout the entire runtime. It's not one of those things that overall you'll sit there and say it's the most pristine 4K transfer you've ever seen, but keep in mind that's due to the original way it was intended by Alex Proyas when he filmed this in the 90s. So intentionally, some of that is present that no matter how many times they restore it, that's going to be present anyways, but I will tell you it has a very nice and filmic look to it. But mixed with some of the film grain, you will notice some digital noise. It causes some slight clumping in the film grain every once in a while, but it's not throughout the entire film. I'd say it's maybe in a handful of scenes throughout the entire film when I was watching it. So it's not horrible, but it does lend to what its review score total will be at the end, just the overall quality of it. And those were the things I encountered in the image. Depth and detail is nicely present in this. far surpassing the soft and, like I said, just muddled Blu-ray release that was never gorgeous to look at. This drastically improves on that in every area of the image. Now, one other thing I want to touch on about the image is, back in 1994, with camera lenses and filters, there's some specific scenes in this that are very dreamy and hazy-like. Those are intentionally softer looking. They do still retain the film grain, so that's not gone, and they didn't use the program Neat on it to remove it. That's still present on there, but it does create a more hazy and softer appearance intentionally. That's never going to go away either, because that's the way they intentionally filmed it, and that's what's present on the original camera negatives. Now, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to go down and give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. Now, talking about the audio, this does get an English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 audio mix. It is very clear and strong, it has good range, and it even has some very good LFE. And when listening to it and comparing it to the other releases I own, this is the best this film has ever sounded on home video. And to be honest with you, I don't even remember it sounding this good in theaters originally. I honestly think the audio mix on this, with what they've done to clean it up and make it clearer and stronger sounding, overall is a nice improvement. Now, show what you get in this. This is the limited edition SteelBook. Now, these did sell out, and Paramount did say they're not planning on reprinting any more of these. But the standard edition is available. It's the exact same contents that's in this set. The only difference is it's a different case. I can tell you the SteelBook though is very nice. It does have this see-through slipcover on it that I do really like. And then inside it has this very nice glossy actually artwork. It says "Real Love is Forever." On the side it says the crow in blue. And then on the back it says "Victims Aren't We All?" And it has the crow walking obviously out of the darkness. I really like the artwork on the SteelBook, and I really like the artwork on the standard case because it's reminiscent of what you have on the SteelBook. Now, when you get inside here, you do get artwork of the crow inside. Now, it does come with your 4K disc that has your special features on it. I will touch on those. You do get 2 brand new special features for this set, as well as legacy bonus features. The 2 new special features are Designing the Crow, which is a behind the scenes kind of talking about the film, and interviews. Then you also get things like commentaries, more behind the scenes, deleted scenes, extended scenes, trailers. All the legacy bonus features are included in this as well, so they really didn't skip on any of those. It's nice that they included so many, including new ones, in this set. Now, I did test the disc for all of you as well. This is a BD100, and it is 100% region-free. Now, I really like the story of the crow. It's a darker hero story, and it is one of those that has grown in cult status over the years. Obviously, Brandon Lee passing away while making this film was a big thing that lended to that, but it does have a really gritty feeling that's retained in this. There's another series that I just recently reviewed that actually comes out in a week from now, Moon Knight. That's a dark and just very like reminiscent of a lot of the feelings I have with like horror elements that I got from The Crow. Now, obviously, The Crow is a completely different story, but if you haven't checked out Moon Knight, that upcoming Moon Knight 4K is a reference image and sound quality release that you've got to check out. I was amazed at the quality of that, and I really enjoyed the darker superhero story in that. And again, I really enjoy The Crow as well. Going back and watching this again like I have for the 30th time, I mean, it's honestly one of those things I've watched this so many times. I was really impressed with what they did in this, but keep in mind, that gritty experience that's on here, lights to darks, this drastically blew away the previous Blu-ray release. Gone is the Black Crush. You don't have any Black Crush issues on this 4K release like you did on the Blu-ray, but it is still a very dark experience intentionally. Again, that's not going to go away. It's not all of a sudden going to become looking like a Pixar movie where it's nice and bright and light and colorful. That's never going to change. Though, this is the best looking The Crow ever has looked. Now, getting to my review score. For The Crow on 4K Ultra HD, this gets a very good 9.0. It is a must-buy. You need to buy and have in your collection. If you like this film at all, you'll be very pleased with the upgrade you're getting over the previous poor Blu-ray transfers. In every area, it retains the original look that's intended for the film, has that film grain, though with those inconsistencies and issues that I explained at the beginning. Those are the one things I wish would have gotten ironed out just slightly more, but to be honest with you, I'm very pleased with this, and this is one of those that whether you're a fan of the film or it's your first time checking this out, you will very much enjoy this 4K release, because the previous Blu-ray release, everybody that's ever seen that previous Blu-ray knows, it was just absolutely horrendous. This is a nice improvement, and this gets a very good 9.0 and is a must buy you need to have in your collection. It just has a more gritty and grimy experience. That's what you get from this. So don't expect it to be pristine. Keep that in mind. It's not a pristine looking 4K transfer because that is not the way it was intentionally created. Now, I've put the direct Amazon sale links for both releases of this down there below. Now, The Crow does come out on 4K here in about 2 weeks. Now that you know the quality of it, share your excitement down below in the comments section and let me know how excited you are for this. Next up, we have the Oceans Trilogy on 4K Ultra HD for the first time. Now, these were sent 2 weeks early for review as well, and these do come out in about a week or so from now, and so this will give you plenty of time to find out the quality of these before their release date. Now, I'm not going to hold these in my hand the whole time, but I will come back to these when I do my unboxing to show you what you get in these. Now, the native images that you see up above are pulled from the previous Blu Ray release, which is the only Blu Ray transfer that Warner Brothers has released, is an old VC1 encode. I will tell you the previous Blu Ray releases were dull, muted, soft, and did have issues with their encode. They were not amazing Blu Ray transfers. Thankfully, Warner Brothers for the Oceans Trilogy, Oceans 11, 12, and 13, went back and did a brand new 4K restoration and HDR10 master that was approved and supervised by the original director himself, Steven Soderbergh. And I will tell you, it is one of those things that breathes brand new life into all 3 films. What you're seeing above is the native images pulled from each of the 3 films in this set and each of the 3 films in the previous Blu Ray releases up above. That's to show you the differences. I'll be cycling through images from each of the 3 films to show you the differences between these. I can tell you this new native 4K is absolutely beautiful for all 3 films. The work they did on this breathes such amazing life into this film. The HDR10 implementation is sublime. It literally is one of those things you will sit there and just be wowed the entire time in each of the films in this trilogy. It has amazing depth and detail as you're noticing in those native images up above. The 4K image severely annihilates the Blu Ray releases in every area that you sit there and you can see the pores on Brad Pitt's face and on George Clooney's face, all of them. It is so nicely detailed. You'll be shocked at the amount of depth and detail you see that you never saw on any of the previous poor Blu Ray releases. Now, another big drastic upgrade you get is because of that amazing HDR10 implementation. The colors on skins and like when they're in Vegas and some of the other movies, the sky, the grass, all of the colors on this look just absolutely beautiful. Whereas on the previous Blu Ray, they were very muted, dull in areas, and just were not amazing to look at. I enjoyed the Blu Rays because I love the films themselves, but I never enjoyed the actual image. And now I actually do. It is absolutely wonderful to watch every one of the films in this trilogy. I was amazed at how much I enjoyed them more so on this than I ever did on the Blu Ray because the image is so beautiful. Now, the good news doesn't stop there. For all 3 of the films in this trilogy, we did get a brand new audio restoration by sound editor Larry Blake, and that's for the new DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 audio mix. That is drastically stronger, cleaner, clearer, has better range than the old Blu Ray's softer sounding Dolby digital audio mix. It was a very noticeable and drastic improvement for all 3 of the films in the Oceans Trilogy on 4K over all of the previous 3 Blu Ray transfers and audio mixes. You will notice right away the clarity and the range of it is so drastically improved over the previous Blu Rays that I was impressed with this as one of the best DTS HD Master audio mixes I've heard for a catalog 4K release. The restoration work they did on the audio mix is worth the price of admission alone without all of the massive upgrades in image quality. I was extremely impressed with the audio mix because I was surprised at how much of a massive improvement it was over the previous Blu Ray's audio mixes. It left those in the dust. Now, talking about how these films are being released, if you want them individually, like these limited edition SteelBook sets, they are only being released individually in the limited edition SteelBook sets only. So if you only want like Oceans 11 or Oceans 12 or Oceans 13 individually, You can only get them in these limited edition SteelBooks. Once they sell out, the films will not be available individually on 4K. They will only be available in the Trilogy box set. Now, I will put all of the links for the Trilogy box set, as well as for each of these limited edition SteelBooks, as a pinned comment down below. If you're wanting to buy the individual ones, limited edition's the only way they're available. The box set, though, gets them all together at a slightly less price. For me, I was really excited for the limited edition SteelBooks because, as most of you know, I've been addicted to collecting SteelBooks lately. I actually just started buying some protectors for all my SteelBooks because I'm going to start doing that. It's kind of become a new addiction of mine, which maybe isn't a good thing, but I will tell you I've become really addicted to them. So I'm thrilled that I got these sent to me early for review in the limited edition SteelBooks. I will tell you they're really nice. They have J cards on them. And then this one's a card. It has all the actors and then obviously them here on the front. On the side, it does say Ocean's 11, and then on the back, it has another artwork on it. Now, when you get inside here, it does have artwork on the inside that's in color, and this is your 4K disc. It does contain all of your special features, has plenty of room to breathe, and you'll understand why here in a minute. It is a BD100, and I did test it for all of you. It's 100% region-free. You won't have any issues playing any of the discs from any of the 3 films in this trilogy. They're all 100% region-free. So if you decide you want to buy this or import this, that direct Amazon sale link down there below ships anywhere worldwide. Now for Ocean's 12 and Ocean's 13, these are the front of your SteelBooks. This is the side of your SteelBooks, and then this is the back. I really like the theme and the artwork that they kept going for all of these with the card looks and things like that. I really thought that was nice, and I do really like these collectible limited edition SteelBooks. Now inside Ocean's 12, again, 4K disc, BD100, region free, and unique artwork inside. And then for Ocean's 13, inside artwork, BD100, region-free 4K. Now, I've heard some folks be concerned about them doing the 4K discs with the special features. For films like these, because of the runtime and because of what they did for the rough average bitrate, that's not a problem whatsoever. They did not compress down the image, compress down the audio. It is an absolutely amazing transfer and audio mix. Now, I did test out the rough average bitrate for all of you for each and every one of the films in this trilogy. I am happy to report every single one of them had a shockingly high, healthy, and extremely strong 88 megabits per second. For Ocean's 12, 85 megabits per second. And for Ocean's 13, 84 megabits per second. All of them shockingly high, healthy, and strong. Amazing rough average bit rates, which lends to why the image on every one of them, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 11, Ocean's 13, are all absolutely outstanding image quality. Depth and detail, film grain, you have a nice light layer of film grain from beginning to end, no instabilities and no issues with it whatsoever. Now getting to my review score for the Ocean's trilogy in these upcoming 4K Ultra HD releases, these get a stellar 9.6. These are all must-buys you need to buy and have in your collection. Experience the amazing audio quality upgrade and image quality upgrade that just destroys the previous Blu-rays. There's no way to explain. You sit down, you'll be sitting there just like this. I mean, it's a wow experience. There's no other way to explain it to you. All 3 films in this trilogy, they're absolutely outstanding looking. There was no digital noise, no banding, no blocking, no black crush, no issues with the film grain that's very light and filmic from beginning to end, no fluctuations, nothing that I could report is wrong with the image in any shape or form on any of the films in this set. I was absolutely amazed at the absolutely enjoyable image and amazing sound that we got for every one of these films. I didn't expect it to be this amazing, and I'll be honest, that rough average bitrate was a really wow experience that shocked and surprised me as well. Honestly, the image is just so enjoyable on these, and that sound was such a huge upgrade as well. Audio, you can hear music and background noises and all of the depth that you could hear in that audio mix that you never could hear on that poor previous Blu-ray audio mix. Man, that's a massive upgrade that I didn't expect to get, and lends to why these get a stellar 9.6 and are must-buys you need to have in your collection. I personally recommend all 3 films. Watch them all in the trilogy. I understand that Ocean's 12 is not as good as Ocean's 13 or Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11 is my favorite. then Ocean's 13 is my second, and then Ocean's 12 is my third favorite. But to be honest with you, watching them again, I wouldn't ever want to not have Ocean's 12. I am glad they released all of these and that Warner Brothers released them in such amazing quality. Now, another recommendation of another amazing Steven Soderbergh film that just came out on 4K. I did an exclusive 4K versus Blu Ray image comparison of Contagion. Same director that did these Ocean's films did Contagion. It's a really good film, and I will tell you, it is a reference quality 4K release. If you have not checked out that review here on this channel, you really need to when you get done with this. I'll put that link above, but that is an amazing 4K release as well. Though keep in mind, these are limited edition SteelBooks, so here in probably less than a year, these are going to be gone. They aren't going to be available anymore, and then the only thing that's going to be available is the Trilogy box set. So if you're like me and you love collecting limited edition SteelBooks, do not wait. Go down and pre-order your copies down below from those links down there. That way you secure your copies of these. I really like the glossy artwork on these. Let me know if you think these are really cool, the card artworks on these limited edition SteelBooks. Let me know which of these films are your favorite from this trilogy. What's your order? Is Ocean's 11 your favorite? Is 12 your favorite? Is 13 favorite? Start that conversation down there below and let me know what order the Ocean's films are your favorite. As I shared before, it's very important if you're going to buy these and add these to your collection now, make sure to go down and use that direct Amazon sale link I pinned right down there below. Next up, we have High Noon from 1952. Now, this was sent to me also 2 weeks early for review. I can tell you this is one of my favorite Western films. I've owned the previous Olive Films Blu Ray for many years. I've watched this probably 4 or 5 times on this Blu Ray release because it is one of my favorite classic Western films. I think Grace Kelly's good in it, but I actually think Gary Cooper steals the show in this film. I can tell you this new 4K is a native 4K that was created from a brand new 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative. And they did a brand new Dolby Vision and HDR10 master. Now for black and white films, it can make a drastic difference with lights to darks, and that obviously does an amazing job with this release with lights to darks, no black crush. On this release, it has a lot of grays, and on your Blu-ray release, it was a softer image. I enjoyed it, but it was not a crystal clear or pristine Blu-ray transfer. On this new 4K, it does have brilliant whites, inky blacks, zero black crush, and all those variances of the whites, the grays, the blacks. So many more shades are present in this that add more depth to it, as well as what you see in the actual image itself. There's depth and detail in their faces that you could never see on this previous Blu-ray release. Especially present a lot of the times you could see it like when they're sweating. The town's very hot when they were filming, and man, some of the characters have some massive sweat on them. And yes, you could see the sweat on the Blu-ray release, but it never looked like it does on this, where you could actually see it going in and out of the pores, down hairs. There was so much depth and detail on this present from this new 4K scan they did that it was a very enjoyable and impressive experience that I honestly, for an old Western film, I never thought we'd ever see this get this much love on a 4K release. Western films have been something I've desired for many years to get on 4K. I'm thrilled that Kino Lorber is continuing to release them. And if you haven't checked out like my previous, The Gunfight at the OK Corral, that's available right now on this channel. That's another great Western release by Kino Lorber, and they did a very good 4K release of that. So we've been getting a lot of Western love from Kino Lorber, and I'm hugely excited because I absolutely love Western TV series and Western films. Now for this new 4K release, it does have a nice layer of film grain. The only issues I ran into the film grain was with some slight blocking at the beginning of where the title intro sequence is. Basically, when the bad guys are showing up to ride to the town, there's a few instances of blocking that appear there where the film grain clumps together with digital noise and causes some blocking issues, but it's very brief. The rest of the image from then on, once you get past those intro title sequences, is very nicely filmic, no issues with fluctuations or instabilities in the film grain. Overall, it's a very enjoyable and filmic transfer. Now, this does get an English DTS HD Master Audio 2.0 audio mix. It's very enjoyable, though I will say it still does have some of the hisses and clicks that you had on the previous Blu-ray audio mix, but there's a lot less of them than what was present on this previous Olive Films Blu-ray release. They did clean up the audio mix quite a bit. So the hissing's not nearly as loud, the clicks are not nearly as loud, It was very loud. I really thought the hissing on this was almost overbearing in a lot of scenes where you could just hear that background hissing from the time of when they filmed this film. Thankfully, that's not the case in this. You can still hear audio clearly, you can hear it crisply, you can hear everything they're saying, as well as the clip-clopping of the shoes and things on the boardwalks. Overall, the audio mix and the upgrade they did on this audio-wise was a very healthy improvement over the previous Blu-ray as well. Now, showing what you get in this does come with this limited edition slipcover. Now, this is one of those instances where the limited edition slipcover is actually my favorite artwork of all of them. These are only printed in the first pressing, so if you pre-order your copy now, you'll get the limited edition artwork, which is my favorite of the artworks. Then you get this artwork, which is on the reversible cover, and then you get the artwork I'm showing you up above, which is on the other reversible side. These are the artworks you will get after the limited edition slipcover sells out. They only do these for first pressings, that's why they're limited edition, and then they're gone. These artworks are fine, but I'll tell you, this one here is just one of those really cool Western artworks that I like. Now, it does have on the side here, it says High Noon, and then on the back it talks about it. Special features wise, you get audio commentaries, the making of High Noon, 5 featurettes, and then you also get theatrical trailer, all included in this set. Now, inside here, you do get your Blu-ray disc. I did test it. It is region A locked. 4K disc is 100% region free. So your Blu-ray though, if you're living outside the US and you want to import this, keep in mind you will need a multi-region or region-free player to play the Blu-ray. Otherwise, your 4K will play, no issues whatsoever. And that link down there from Amazon, it ships anywhere worldwide. Now, I did dive into and test out the rough average bitrate for all of you. I'm very happy to report this is a high, healthy, and strong 79 megabits per second. They did not compress it down, gave it plenty of room to breathe. For a black and white film, I was amazed at the quality of this. Now, I just recently reviewed Colt 45. If you haven't checked out that TV series on Blu-ray, that's a recommended Blu-ray TV series of a shorter Western series. Each episode's about 20-25 minutes, but that restoration was a 4K restoration but put onto Blu-ray. That looks very good, but I will tell you the image on this, if you've seen the image on that, this surpasses that, which is a big surprise because the depth and detail they did on this 4K release is very nice improvement over that previous Olive Films Blu-ray of High Noon. Now, getting to my review score. For High Noon on 4K Ultra HD, this gets a superb 9.2, a must buy. Gotta buy this, add this to your collection, enjoy this Western film. It's a wonderful classic film. I love classic films. You haven't found that out yet by following me here on my channel. I love movies and TV series. And if it's a classic film that's really good like this, the fact that they're releasing it on 4K in this quality, we gotta support these releases. There are some that come out that aren't really great. I've reviewed them over the years, and I get disappointed in those. Thankfully, I haven't had to tell you about them being disappointed lately, which I'm excited about. If it's not disappointing, that's a good thing for all of us. For these films, the fact that we've gotten The Crow, we've gotten High Noon, all 3 of the Ocean's films, man, we're really living high right now. We are getting some amazing stuff, and we are just spoiled the crap right now. Honestly, as physical media collectors, movie and TV series fans, we are really spoiled. The stuff we are getting and the level and quality we're getting is just absolutely amazing. Now, it's very important if you decide you're gonna buy any of these I've reviewed in this video, make sure to go down and use those direct Amazon sale links right down there below. Those links down there are extremely important to the creation of these videos. The only way I can always do these image comparisons is through you, my viewers and subscribers support, through using those direct Amazon sale links down there below and joining my Collectors VIP Club. You see, the thing of it is I have to use that money to pay for the software, the time, the analysis, and that's the only way I can always spend all this time. If you've noticed over the last 3 weeks, I've released over 20 image comparison reviews. I have been massively busy. I have worked my butt off for all of you, working until 3 to 4 in the morning every single night to get these all done for all of you. But the only way I can always do this is through your support. That's why it's so darned important. If you're gonna buy these or add these to your collection, always use those direct Amazon sale links down there below. And I do really appreciate every one of your support that have clicked on those links or joined my Collectors VIP Club. It really does, and I don't know how to explain this other than it really does matter. It matters to me and my family and me being able to do this and continue doing this full time. As always, make sure to go down and give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. I truly hope all of you have a blessed day, and I've always got something new, early, exclusive, and exciting coming out very soon.